everybody. Let me tell you what we're talking about, because of course we heard a lot from the Chancellor yesterday. He was talking about the health of the economy and how we're not looking like we're in as much financial shape as we should be. So I've come down to the gym to get some thoughts on exactly what people heard in the budget yesterday, what they feel about it. Because of course, with every budget there are winners and losers. But what we heard the Chancellor say is that growth has been downgraded. Because of this, he's missed some of his targets, unlike this guy here who's clearly going for it. The Chancellor wants the economy to look in better financial shape. So we've got a couple of guests here just to talk about what was actually in it. Good morning, everybody. Darshana, let me start with you, because you're a small business advisor, aren't you? And for you, just tell us a bit about what you thought it was in the budget.
There are 5.3 million small businesses and they turn over £1.2 trillion. So it's quite important that small businesses are represented in the budget. Yesterday, the Chancellor brought out some really good reforms. The first one was the corporation tax. He brought it down from 20 to 17. The second was the business rates, which is something small businesses have been lobbying for a very long time. Business rates really hamper the small businesses such as your grocery store and the small shops. And the reform now that is brought in helps 600,000 small businesses where they won't be paying business rate tax.
And that has been something businesses have been really annoyed about, isn't it? It's the business rates and how that has potentially slowed a lot of them down.
Absolutely. Business rate is old and clunky. It was first introduced 400 years ago. And that's, before we had the internet. Right now, high street businesses find it very difficult to compete with online stores. And it's increasingly becoming important that they get represented. With this business rate tax, the reform introduced, £6,000 is the average per business that each business will be saving, so that's pretty good.
And do you think there was enough in it for business though?
Well, we understand that the country is going through a deficit, and unless it gets into a surplus, we will keep getting taxed. Businesses get taxed at so many levels, right from PAYE to VAT to so on and so forth. So we understand their new taxes. The one thing which he didn't talk about was the dividend tax, but considering he's just introduced it, and from 6th April of this year, we'll have a 7.5% dividend tax on any amounts more than £5,000 withdrawn. That's taking away a little bit from the Queen, everything after you've done all your hard work, you've got the profits, and it just takes that little bit away. So yes, there were things for small business that was important and helped, but on the other side, there's still a lot of taxes that we go through.
And let's bring in Anna as well, because we're talking about savings too here. There was quite some good news for people who want to save.
Yeah, there was. There's been quite a lot of change going on in the savings world actually recently, and a lot of new things to happen from the new tax year for people to get their heads around. But there has been some good stuff. So from next April, not this year, the ISA limit is staying the same this tax year, but next year it's going up to £20,000. So that's quite a big jump. That's over 30% increase on the ISA limit. Plus there's this new lifetime ISA for younger savers. So those people between 18 and 40 will be able to save up to £4,000 a year and then get up to £1,000 bonus, so it's a 25% bonus. But there are lots of restrictions that you have to be careful about, so it's important to know how these things work when you're deciding which route you're going to take in terms of savings. And from the new tax year, from this tax year, from the 6th of April, there's this new personal savings allowance that's coming in. So all savers who are either non-basic, basic rate taxpayers or high rate taxpayers will receive some of the interest they earn tax-free. So again, another good bonus and another good incentive for people to save, really.
So much to get your head around a lot.
Yeah.
I'm an evergreen financial journalist, so tell us a bit about, do you think the lifetime ISA, for example, is going to encourage more young people to save?
Well, that's $1 million question, isn't it? The problem is that so many young people have high rents, and we just had the Labour Force survey out yesterday showing that graduates are in lower paid jobs, considering their qualifications than they were in the past. So it's definitely debatable as to whether young people will actually be able to make the most of this ISA, or whether or not it's going to be richer people who will be able to get the most out of it? And also, is it going to push up house prices? Is it going to push up demand for property in an already very overheated property market? So there are lots of questions about whether or not this is actually going to benefit young people.
And time will tell, I guess, with all of these things. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I feel like I should try something on here, shouldn't I? And let's have a go at one of these pull-up bars before I go. In fact, I don't even think I can reach. Can you pick me up? Go on, let's have a... And let's end the budget with it. Are you ready? Yeah? Yeah. Right, we've got about 10 seconds to do this.
You changed your hands around. Leave her up there. Tell her to leave you up there, Steph.
Thanks.
No worries.
Nice one. Cheers.
Steph, that's not how it works in real life. You know that. That's not how it works in real life. You don't all get help to do those.